In this video, we will take a look how to create a new text field or how to create product options. First of all, we get started by clicking the button Create Field. I will do so, and now the pop-up to select the type of field will open up. You can rather create a simple text box or you can create combined product options. In my case, we will now first get started with a simple text box. First of all, I will click the Next button. And now the Create page will open up. First of all, we should enter a unique field name. In my case, let's call it Test1. This is the name. We can now scroll further down and can decide what file type it should be. Single file, single line or multi-line. Let us now take a look what kind of further options we have. We can set an individual heading, color and font size. We can define the placeholder color, customer input color, and also the font size. We can move on further. We have different kind of style opportunities. We can define the field width, small or full, can make the corners rounded. And here in the advanced options section, you will find further helpful functionalities, like you can make the field required, you can set a custom tooltip, you can define what kind of input is allowed from your customers. You can define how many characters will be allowed. You can set a price add-on whenever a text is entered. You can define it if it should be right to left. And you can also define if there should be some translations if you have a multi-language store. Let us now take another look inside the detailed options. Require, tooltip, allowed input, limited character input, price add-ons, right to left, and translations. Always in the final step, there will be the targeting section. Here you can define on which products, variants, or collections you want to show your respective created field. You have the basic targeting functionalities by going with the resource picker. So for example, if I will click here, you will get all of your products listed. Here, all of the variants listed which are inside. And here, all of the collections which you have in your store. If you want to have advanced targeting functionalities, you can also use advanced options and you can set individual conditions like product title equals or contains, product is one of, collection is one of, or a collection title equals or contains a specific word. You have the option to choose between any or all of these conditions. If we go with any, then that means for each new line you will enter that this condition will count. If you go with all, that means just the combination of all conditions will decide on which product it will show. All right. Furthermore, you have the opportunity to have here the variant specification. So you can also decide if you want to show it on all variants, on specific variants, and also here you have options to define if you want to show it on all or none. I will always recommend to keep this like it is and use the simple targeting because it's very easy at a later point to add more opportunities to it. Okay, whenever it's completed, in my case, let's also say we want to show it on the text box t-shirt product. And then we will just click the Save button. Once it is successfully saved, you will be redirected to the dashboard and you can see that the field is now showing here. Also, if we now visit the storefront, let's do that. I will now scroll down further. Here is my product and we can see that here is our created text field. Let's now also take a look how we can create product options. I will click the button Create Field, decide now to go with the product options and click the Next button. Now you can see on the right side we can see the preview, on the left side we can see the options we can add. First of all, there are some general settings here on this page. So that means we can here define general things related font size, style, colors, and also here the targeting section we already know from the simple text box. Now let's say we want to add here different kind of options. Text field, drop-down, checkbox, option list, button, swatch, description, upload, divider, switch. We can now see that all of these have been have been displayed in the right preview section. And what we now can do is the following. We can go through each of them to modify its content. That means here's the pencil icon. I can click on that. And on the left side, we will see the same advanced options we know already from the text box, like placeholder, required, tooltip, limit, character input, price, add-ons, right to left, and translations. And we can define this for any type of these fields. Here in the beginning, we can write whatever we want. This is like the heading, placeholder, and that stuff. And now you can see if I go through all of them, you can see that we will find all of these options, advanced options, in each of these fields. Now, the only thing which is different and important to know is when we click pencil on the second one, we have first of all the opportunity to set a conditional logic. That means we can make a rule that we can say this field should just show if there is something entered in the first one. And we can do this conditional logic for all of these fields. In addition, whenever we have something which can be selected, like a drop-down, checkbox, buttons, whatever, and we have more than one value, we can also decide what should be the pre-selected entry by default. So then we have the opportunity that people have already something selected and they don't have to do it when they are on the product page. So we can do whatever we want here. We can also make upload custom images for the swatches, whatever we want to do, everything can be done here. And whenever we are completed, we can again whether show it for all, or we can select on which product we want to show it. In my case, let's show it again on the text box again. Here we have to also enter a unique name. We shouldn't forget that. Let's say test number 2. We will click the save button again. Now you can see the field is created. We can go back to our product, refresh it, and we see in the desired display position that now also the combined options will be displayed here. And we can, we can get started. So now that's everything about field creation.